In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a spreadsheet and make a table with recursive formulae that we draw from Google Spreadsheets. The instructions are to create a table that looks like this: week from 1 to 50, and then amounts that increase by 50 each week up to the 50th week. The instructions are also that we only type the numbers 1 and 2000 and use spreadsheet formulas to generate the rest of the numbers recursively. So first, let's give the spreadsheet a title. Come up here to this tab and enter a name that you can associate with the problem. I've called it Table of 50 Weeks. Now come down to the first column and type in the column header, which is week. The column header for the second column will be amount. Type in 1 for week. How do we generate the rest of the numbers from 1 to 50? There are recursive procedures built into Google Spreadsheets, which you can use as follows. Click on this number, bring your cursor to the right until it's at the right bottom of the cell, in which case it turns into a cross. Make sure the cell is selected and your cursor looks like a cross. Now hold down the Command key or Control key if you're using a Windows PC. Click and drag downwards. Since we need 50 weeks, I'm going to cell row number 51. And that gives me the numbers 1 through 50 in consecutive order. The second task is to generate amounts in the second column, beginning with 2000 and increasing by 50 each time. I'm going to show you two ways of doing this. The first way is to use a recursive pattern that you can help Google Spreadsheets understand by simply typing in the second value. So the first and second values differ by 50, as you can see. Now select these two cells, make sure they are both highlighted like you see here. Bring the cursor down to the bottom right of the two cells until it turns into a cross. Now, without holding down any other key, simply click and drag until the end where you see 50. When you release the mouse, you will notice that the pattern that we established in front was copied using Google Spreadsheets to make a recursive pattern of a difference of 50 each time. However, there is another way of doing this. So I'm going to delete the numbers that I generated using a recursive pattern, but instead, method 2 will be to use a formula. We can tell Google Spreadsheets to add 50 to the first number as follows. So click in the second cell just below 2000 and start typing a formula. Remember, spreadsheet formulae begin with equals, so we use the equal to symbol, and we want to tell Google Spreadsheets to add 50 to this number. So we click this cell to reference the grid, which in this case is B2. Now you want B2 to be added to 50, so you type in plus 50. At this stage, press the Enter key. You get the formula for giving you a result, which is 2050. Now all you have to do is select that cell, come to the bottom right until the cursor turns to a cross. Don't hold on any other key, but simply click and drag downwards. What you're doing in this case is copying that formula downwards. Now this becomes a recursive formula because if you click in the third cell, for example, it shows you on top here, it's adding 50 to the previous cell B3. If you click in the fourth cell, it shows you that it's adding 50 to B4, which is 2100, and so on. This was done automatically by Google Spreadsheets, and therefore it's called a recursive formula. Now, I like to format my spreadsheets so that the numbers are aligned and viewed nicely. So I select the two columns by clicking on the top parts of the columns, and then do some simple formatting like centering, and then selecting the range of cells that we are interested in, and using the borders so that it looks neat. Also, I like to bolden the headings of the table.